Emperor of the Air, 1985, is a collection of short stories by Ethan Canin, featuring 9 tales that mark his debut in published fiction, released shortly after he earned his MFA from the Iowa Writers' Workshop in 1984. The title story follows an unnamed 69-year-old high school science teacher who has recently suffered a heart attack. His wife, Vera, is out for a walk, full of life and energy, while he grapples with his declining health, which has hindered his ability to keep up with her. The narrator's neighbor, Pike, informs him that the old elm tree on his property is diseased, a fact he is already aware of. Pike insists the tree must be cut down to protect the younger trees on his own land and returns with a chainsaw the following week. The narrator, who recalls climbing the ancient tree in his youth, contacts a local nursery, discovering that the tree might be salvageable. He refuses to succumb to Pike's demands, believing the tree deserves better. As he saves the tree, he reflects on his childhood, recalling a devastating fire that threatened the town. He climbed the tree to watch the chaos unfold, while his mother stayed behind, defying his father's insistence to leave. In a moment of defiance, the narrator considers infecting Pike's trees with insects from his own as a means of saving them all. However, when the time comes, he is unable to follow through and discards the insects instead. The next day, he encourages the paperboy to abandon his bike and gaze up at the stars. In the year of getting to know us, Lenny speaks with his counselors, who question his reluctance to let people in. Despite his assertion that he is reasonably happy, Lenny reveals his struggles, his father's death, and his wife's infidelity. Yet, he insists he feels fortunate, even as others doubt the authenticity of his happiness. Following his father's death, Lenny finds himself experiencing only physical sensations. Lies centers on Jack, who prides himself on being mature for his 18 years, especially as he prepares to marry Katie. However, hints suggest that their marriage is driven by necessity. Katie is pregnant. Jack focuses on the maturity of his decision while avoiding the truth of their situation. He acknowledges his tendency to lie but hesitates to express love for Katie, dodging the moment repeatedly. Ultimately, he comes to realize he must tell her he loves her, justifying his self-deception by convincing himself that he truly does. Where We Are Now portrays an elderly couple whose marriage has grown distant and cold. In an effort to rekindle their connection, they start touring houses for sale in their neighborhood, allowing a spark of imagination and unexpected magic to return to their lives. As they explore luxurious homes they can't afford, their relationship experiences a brief revival. In We Are Nighttime Travelers, a middle-aged woman reveals to her husband that she spotted someone at their window the previous night. He confesses he has been dishonest about his daily whereabouts, admitting he spends his time at the local aquarium. As he begins to write poetry to express himself, sharing his verses with his wife, they embark on a new chapter in their relationship. The unnamed narrator in Pitch Memory is a waitress who confronts her mother after rescuing her from yet another incident involving theft. They engage in a bitter, familiar exchange about her unmarried life and low-stakes job. Despite her family's pressure, the narrator insists she is happy and has no desire for a family, husband, or traditional career. Although her relatives possess perfect pitch, the ability to replicate any sound, she does not share this talent. By the story's end, however, she comes to believe she is attuned to nuances of sound that her family cannot perceive, viewing this as a unique advantage. American Beauty centers on a 16-year-old boy who narrates in a monotone and unemotional manner about his 27-year-old brother, Lawrence, who was born with several deformities, including cloven hands due to missing fingers. Lawrence has always been treated by his family as a monster. When his sister tells him he'll never find a job because of his hands, he reacts with a shocking violence that complicates his identity as a monster. The Carnival Dog, the buyer of diamonds, follows young Myron and his father, Abe, who believes it is his duty to toughen up his son for physical contests. Instead of motivating him, Abe's domineering approach fills Myron with dread. The story culminates in a breath-holding contest, one that Abe always wins with ease. In Star Food, Dade works in his father's grocery store and notices an older woman shoplifting. This incident prompts him to reflect on how he wants to live his life, seeing it as a pivotal moment. With a magical outlook on the world, Dade ultimately catches her in the act, but chooses not to punish her. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.